guys, Dylan A here, and we are back with a brand new top 5, and this week, in spite of Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire coming out last Friday, we're going to have the top 5 ORAS, or Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire, Mega Evolutions, meaning the new Megas that came out for the specific games. So this is not going to count for any Megas that came out for X and Y. It's only going to be new ones that came out in Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire. So anyway, this list is all opinionated, so if you have your own opinion, then you could leave it in the comments below, and if you like my list, you could also leave a like. So anyway, let's go ahead and get started with my top 5 ORAS Megas. Starting off the list, at number 5, we have one of my favorite Pokemon, Mega Sceptile. Now, when it Mega Evolves, it becomes Grass Dragon type, which is great in more ways than one. Because for one thing, it now gets another stab type of moves. Dragon is now going to be stab, and stab is great. If you use stab moves, they're going to be so much more powerful than non-stab. So it does get that, but it also loses its weakness to fire. So now fire is going to hit it normally instead of super effectively, which is great. It gets the ability Lightning Rod, which is not the greatest, but it does prevent any lowering of speed by, like, say, Thunder Wave. I mean, that's good because Sceptile is super speedy, but it's also not so great because electric moves are going to be not very effective anyway. Especially being Grass Dragon, electric is literally going to do nothing to this thing. So, being immune to electric isn't really that beneficial. It's just kind of something that just helps it just ever so slightly. But the reason it's number 5, and not any higher, is because of its stats. But I'll get to that in a second. It agilely leaps about the jungle and uses the sharp leaves on its arms to strike its prey. Now, its design is really good, and I love how it faces the camera, because usually Pokemon, you see the backs of them. Mega Sceptile actually faces the camera and looks the other way at the opponent. It just looks very, very cool looking. But here's its stats. It has 110 attack, 75 defense, no one cares, 145 special attack, 85 special defense, and 145 speed. Now, 145 speed is crazy good. That is going to outspeed lots and lots of things. That has a higher speed than Darkrai. That's really good. Now, here's the thing that makes it number 5. It has only 110 attack and 145 special attack. Okay, when you look at Sceptile, does it look like something that's gonna energy ball you from a distance, or does it look like something that's gonna get in your face and stab you with sharp leaves until you die? That's right, it looks like it's gonna stab you with some leaves. But no, they do not make it a physical attacker. They say, hey, you know what, let's make it a special attacker. I think that's so stupid. Because even if you look at Sceptile's leveling up moveset, it gets so many decent physical moves, but it gets, like, no special moves, you know? And, I mean, Leaf Blade, that's, like, almost, like, exclusive to Sceptile. I know it's not exclusive, but it's, like, one of Sceptile's, like, if you think of Leaf Blade, you think of, oh, Grovoil, Sceptile, Leaf Blade, they have the blades on their arms. You know, it's kind of like Sceptile invented Leaf Blade, almost. And Leaf Blade's physical. So why is Sceptile not physical? I don't get it. And it also gets Dual Chop, Dragon Claw, it learns X-Scissor, it learns Slash, you could give it Swords Dance. If this thing was a physical attacker, it would be so much better. But, hey, you know, whatever. I mean, I guess you could make it special. You could definitely give it Energy Ball, you could definitely give it Dragon Pulse, Leaf Storm, Focus Blast. But just the way it just looks so physical. It just looks so physical, and Leaf Blade would be perfect. It's just sad that... It really is sad how it's a special attacker. But, I mean, you could always give it Swords Dance and still have Leaf Blade. You could get an Adamant one, and it would still put in pretty good work. So, anyway, that's Sceptile. Next up at number 4, we have a very interesting one, being Mega Beedrill. Now, regular Beedrill is not good at all, really, but Mega Beedrill, I think, would actually be very interesting to use. It is still bug poison, but it gets the ability adaptability. And if you don't know what that does, that powers up stab type moves. So X-Scissor and Poison Jab, those will also get an extra increase because of the adaptability. I think that's actually very cool. That actually will work very well once you see his stats. May appear in a swarm, flies at violent speeds, all while stabbing with the toxic stinger on its rear. So that's Beedrill, but let's look at its stats. Its attack goes up to 150. Its speed goes up to 145. So again, that 145 speed is going to outspeed lots and lots of things. It'll even outspeed a Darkrai, so that's crazy. And then 150 attack. That's really good. Now, if you add on the adaptability, that is going to be one powerful X-Scissor or Poison Jab. I mean, that's just going to be really powerful. You could maybe one-shot. If you get an Adamant one, an Adamant Mega Beedrill, with adaptability, it could probably one-shot, and it's going to outspeed. And its defenses are not good, but you could go ahead and give it a Focus Sash. And, I mean, that would work very, very well. So it will be a guaranteed that you could take at least 2 hits, and you could always deal back that damage, and maybe one shot. If anything, it'll definitely be a 2-shot. And if you're super effective, it's, like, without a doubt, you're going to win. So I think it's very interesting. Now, Mega Beedrill's design is literally perfect. I mean, it just looks so, like, intimidating, and it's big, and it just looks amazing with its stingers. It has, like, 4 arms, and then that one main, like, honeycomb-like tail with the stinger. That's so good. It is so good. In the colors, it's really amazing. It really is. So, Mega Beedrill is definitely gonna be powerful. Next up at number 3, we have Mega Salamence, who remains Dragon Flying, which is fine, and it gets the ability Aerialate, which that makes any normal type move and turns it flying, so it also gets Stab, which is actually very good. And I just want to say Mega Salamence's design is actually really cool. It's very interesting because it looks like super like fast, and its wings. I just like how it's like one of those things that you throw and it like comes back like a boomerang. It kind of looks like that. I just really like it. I really like it. It's uncontrollable if enraged. It flies around spouting flames and scorching fields and mountains. Now, here's the main thing that makes Mega Salamence Mega Salamence. That is its stats. Its attack is 145, defense 130, special attack 120, special defense 90, that's but speed 120. So it's very fast and has that high of an attack stat, and it's very bulky. I mean, 130 defense is crazy. That is crazy. So just think of Sharpedo. Sharpedo, not being Mega Evolved, it has 120 attack and 95 speed. And you all know how hard an Adamant Sharpedo can hit. Okay? But that has 120 attack. This thing has 145 attack and a much higher speed. And it also has that bulk, because Sharpedo is not bulky. It hits hard, but it's not bulky. This thing hits hard and is super bulky and speedier than a Sharpedo. I mean, that's crazy. That is crazy good. And also having 120 special attack. I mean, if you want to, you could give it Flamethrower, but I'd say just go all out. Give it a Dragon Dance and Dragon Claw and some powerful flying move. Maybe Aerial Ace. I don't know what else it gets that's really good. Maybe, I don't know, it gets Brave Bird. That'd be crazy. Probably doesn't, but I mean, you could even give it normal type moves like Giga Impact. That'll become flying. Facade will become flying. That is powerful. That really is powerful. Moxie would have been slightly better of an ability, but Aerialate is still good because it doesn't get too many good flying type physical moves. So with Aerialate, you could give it some good physical normal type moves and it'll become flying, which is great. So mostly I like this because it hits hard and it is bulky. Speaking of bulky, we have Metagross at number 2. It remains Steel Psychic, and it gets the ability Tough Claws, which is awesome because that raises the power of any moves that make contact by 33%. So, if you have, let's say, Meteor Mash, which has 90 power, Tough Claws will boost it up to about 120 power, which is crazy. With 4 Link's brains, it's more intelligent than a supercomputer, and it uses calculations to analyze foes. That description is not too powerful, but Mega Metagross is crazy powerful, and its design is one of my favorites. It just looks so humongous and big, and I mean, just imagine getting attacked by that thing, like an Iron Head or Zen Headbutt from that thing. I mean, that is going to hurt. Now, speaking of bulk, we have Metagross with 145 attack, that's the same as Salamence, but it has 150 defense, which is 20 more than Mega Salamence. Special attack 105, no one cares. 110 special defense, again that is more than Mega Salamence. And 110 speed, that is still really good. So basically this thing can hit just as hard as Salamence can, but it is more bulky. It is more bulky, having more defense and more special defense than Mega Salamence, which is great. That is really great. So it's basically like Mega Salamence, just as a little slower, but it's more bulky, and it's not too much slower. So I think Mega Salamence is better, and it has a better design, and the moves that it gets are a lot better. Along with that Tough Claws boosting its attack, it definitely can hit harder than Mega Salamence. The moveset I would go with is definitely Meteor Mash, Zen Headbutt. Earthquake is good, but it does not get a boost from Tough Claws, but I'd still say keep it. It's still good. Hammer Arm will get a boost, but that would lower speed, and you really don't want to lower the speed of being 110, but you can still keep it if you want. He might get Power Up Punch, which would probably be better than... That would probably be better than Hammer Arm, because that would raise his attack, and it still gets the Tough Claws boost. So, I'd say Power Up Punch if he gets it, but... And Earthquake you could kind of toy around with, but the moves you definitely want are Meteor Mash and Zen Headbutt. You really do not need Bullet Punch, because 110 speed is going to outspeed quite a bit of things, especially if you give it some boost in Super Training. And finally, in the number 1 spot, we have Mega Rayquaza. Holy crap, this thing is so good. Just look at it. Just look at it. Oh, would you look at that? Just look at it. It just looks crazy good. I love its darker green color. It's usually a lighter green. It turns darker, and it just has so many better features that are just literally crazy good looking. It's still dragon flying, but it gets the ability Delta Stream. Now, that's kind of like a more pimped up version of Airlock. But what it does that's different from Airlock is, if you use like Rain Dance or something, that's not going to work. Delta Stream stays up as long as Rayquaza stays in. And trust me, once we get to its stats, Rayquaza is going to stay in a long stinking time. But we'll get to that in a second. Another thing that Delta Stream does is it turns super effective things against flying types, and it makes them do normal damage. So, in Rayquaza's case, Ice is usually 4 times super effective. Now it's only going to be 2 times super effective, right? Again, another thing is Electric. That usually does normal damage, but now it's going to do half damage. Another thing is Rock, which usually is super effective. Now it's just going to deal normal damage. That is crazy, especially when you see Rayquaza's stats. So let me read its description, then we'll get to those stats. A Pokemon that flies endlessly in the ozone layer. It is said it would descend to the ground if Kyogre and Groudon were to fight. Anyway, let's get to these stats. Here we go, HP 105. Now, I have not talked about HP about the other ones for a reason, just because it really doesn't matter, but in Rayquaza's case, this 105 HP does matter. I believe that 105 is actually very good, because Audino, I believe, has 105, and we all know that Audino has quite a bit of HP, so it has lots of HP, Mega Rayquaza. 180 attack and 180 special attack. That is literally insane. That is literally insane. Mega Diancie has base 160 attack and special attack, so this is 180 both, which is amazing. Defense 100, special defense 100. You might be thinking, hey, look, 100 isn't that great. I mean, you got Mega Metagross that had base 110 special defense, but let me explain this to you. Base 100 special defense and defense with 105 HP is bulk. That really is bulk, because if you think about it, something could have crazy good defense. It could have crazy good defense, but if it does not have good enough HP, it's really not going to be bulky. So, Mega Metagross may have 110 special defense, but its HP is only like 80, I believe. So, 80 or what, let me see what it is. Yeah, it's 80. It's 80. So, I mean, Mega Rayquaza actually has more bulk in special defense than Mega Metagross does, which is crazy if you look at its attack and special attack stats. Because like I said, usually if something is crazy good physically, it's usually not too bulky. Like I said, Sharpedo, even Chandelure, who has a crazy good special attack stat, it's really not too bulky. Darkrai is crazy fast and crazy special attack, but he's not too bulky. He's actually not bad. He's actually not bad, but he's not too bulky. This thing is bulky. This thing is bulky and it hits that hard, and it has base 115 speed. This thing is going to stay in battle a long time, and it's probably going to one-shot lots of things. It also gets a new move called Dragon Ascent, which is physical. So, I mean, it also gets Dragon Dance. I mean, if you use Dragon Dance on this thing, and then just use Dragon Ascent or something else, I mean, you're going to one-shot. You're going to one-shot. This thing's literally crazy. I can't believe this is even, like, real. I mean, this is going to be so powerful, so... I mean, I don't even know what could kill it anymore. I really don't. You might say, oh, hey, just use, like, Ice Shard, but that's only going to be 2 times super effective and not 4 times anymore, on top of its bulk. On top of its bulk. This thing is not going to die easily, and it's going to be crazy good. I think it may even get Roost. I mean, you could even heal. You could set up with Dragon Dance and be physical or special if you want, but I say Dragon Ascent is physical. Let's make this a physical attacker, and... I don't know. This thing is crazy, and its design is perfect. So there you go. That wraps up my top 5 ORAS Megas. Make sure you leave your own top 5 in the comments below, and give this video a like. But before we end things off, I just want to give a close runner-up for a position on this list. I'm not sure what position, but it's a close runner-up. So it might have got 5th position, but I had to give it to Sceptile. But a close runner-up is Mega Sharpedo. Now, there's no doubt this thing is going to be really good. This thing is going to be crazy good. What you can do, because it does not have speed boost, what you could do is go ahead and do not Mega Evolve it right away. Use Protect. Alright, use Protect, get a speed boost up, then Mega Evolve, so that you'll outspeed and hit crazy hard. So that's what you could do, and of course it gets the Strong Jaw ability, which Crunch is going to hit hard, and that also boosts up Ice Fang, which is good. So, I mean, it's going to be crazy. It's going to be crazy good. But the reason it did not make it on this list is because I personally was disappointed by the design. I don't know, there's just something about it, it just looks too weird looking. It doesn't look true enough to the original Sharpedo. You know, because original Sharpedo, it's kind of basic looking, although its face is amazing with its teeth, but regular Sharpedo is kind of basic looking, and I think they made Mega Sharpedo a little too crazy. I mean, just the designs on its skin, I don't know, and the color, and its long nose, it doesn't work. To me, it just does not work. Sharpedo is supposed to be like a small little, like, torpedo thing. You know, it's like a short shark. It's a short shark, and they went ahead and made it a long shark. It's like, no. Mega Sharpedo cannot be a long shark. It must stay a short shark. Short sharks for the win. So, that's the only reason why it did not make it on this list, because I personally was disappointed by the design. Sharpedo being one of my favorite Pokemon, I was very sad by the design, so... But I'm still definitely going to use it. It's going to be crazy powerful. But, yeah, that design... it's too long. It is too long. Short Sharks for the win. So anyway, that's going to wrap up my list. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you guys next time.